Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Beloit Board of Education November meeting. May I please have approval of the agenda?
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. Dr. Baskin, would you lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance, please? Board announcements, please.
The holiday season officially arrived today when students were dismissed from school. There is no school Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday in observance of Thanksgiving. School resumes on Monday, November 28th. We honored some of our brightest students this month. The National Honor Society inducted 51 new members at Beloit Memorial High School during a ceremony on November 16th. Congratulations to you all. Postseason accolades are coming in for the Beloit Memorial boys soccer team. Alberto Martinez was named first team All-Conference, second team All-State, second team Wisconsin State Journal All-Area team. Andres Delatorre was named second team All-Conference, honorable mention Wisconsin State Journal All-Area team. Lorenzo Amador was named second team All-Conference, honorable mention Wisconsin State Journal All-Area team. Coco Castellanos was named second team All-Conference, honorable mention Wisconsin State Journal All-Area team. And Tony Zepeda was named honorable mention All-Conference. Congratulations to the boys soccer team for a special season. There are a couple of concerts coming up. On Tuesday, November 29th, the Aldrich Fall Concert will be held at 7:30 p.m. On Thursday, December 1st, the Frusen Band will take the stage for its winter concert at 7 p.m. If you have been keeping up on the news, then you know about the Loads to Success program at Beloit Memorial. Special education students are sharing their knowledge and skills about washing clothing with students who do not have access to laundry equipment. The goal of Loads to Success is to cut absenteeism and increase achievement among students who must choose daily whether to come to school wearing dirty clothes or to just stay home. There is a fundraiser and more information at classmunity.org, where your donation can help buy more equipment to expand this innovative program. Thank you.
Thank you, Shelley. At this time, we are going to briefly discuss the December board meeting schedule. It has been traditional that we move the meetings in December towards the beginning of the month. So at this time, I would entertain a motion to move the meetings. So the special board meeting right now is scheduled for December 13th. So my suggestion, the first board meeting, the committees, the 13th. So my suggestion is that we keep that on that day and then move the televised to December 20th.
I'd like to make a motion that we keep the committee, special committee meetings on December 13th, and we move the business meeting to December 20th.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. The next item is the approval of the Equality Committee membership. So the approval of the Equality Committee membership, are you involved with that, Tasha? I see. Page what? Perfect, thank you.
Nice extensive list. Move approval.
Are some of these new members, Tasha? Yes. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Thank you. Now we're at the place for recognitions. Mr. Leaf, thank you.
Good evening. I'm Brian Leaf, Public Information Officer for the School District of Beloit, and we're here to recognize 3 people tonight. First is an early childhood teacher who just received the National Board Certification, which is the top certification a teacher could receive. We now have, I believe, 9, is that right? We have 8 National Board Certified teachers in our district, and less than 2% of all teachers in this state have this certification. So it's really a testament to the dedication of Amanda Mortimer. You can come on up, Amanda, and why don't you come up, Elliot and Cynthia?
There are those that would probably dismiss National Board Teacher Certification as mere credentialism. Maybe others who would suggest that they don't need such vindications of their teacher practice, or that it's showmanship. But I would double dog dare any person who's gone through the process to claim such things. The National Board for Professional Teaching Standards represents the gold standard in what we know good teaching is, what accomplished practice looks like. It's a very arduous journey. It's very personal for each person who goes through it, and it's the most authentic mode of reflection and an examination of teacher practice that I'm aware of. As was mentioned earlier, less than 2% of teachers in the state of Wisconsin, around about 1,100 total in the entire state, and fewer than 2% nationwide have achieved National Board Teacher Certification. Today, back in May, Amanda submitted a portfolio, which is an arduous task in and of itself, and as a National Board Certified teacher myself, I can say that wait from May to November is horrendous. You try to forget about it and you try to do other things, but it's always on your mind. Today she stands on the other side of that process, victorious, with so many personal demons laying vanquished on a field of battle. Carrion groaning for burial. Amanda. Sorry.
I'm Cynthia Slavish, reading specialist at Aldridge, and I'm happy to congratulate Amanda. I worked with Amanda at Gaston. We were actually in a similar relationship in terms of I was her mentor when she first started in the school district, and then I'm proud to say to be a part of her journey with the National Board Certification. I'm just really excited for her. I want to tell you how resilient she is, and I never heard her ever say that this was not going to be a possibility. This was something she was bound and determined to do, and she did it, and we're just so excited and proud of her, and happy for Merrill Elementary that you now hold the second largest number of National Board Certified teachers in the district with 2. So it's that's an exciting accomplishment too. So congratulations, and I hope you will continue to offer mentor services to other people who go through this and continue on this process. Well, congratulations.
You have every right to be proud.
I just want to say thank you. This would not be possible without my husband and my family, without Cynthia and Lyman as support, without my coworkers who had to deal with crazy ideas. My husband had to deal with late nights and lots of work. And it has all been worth it. And I'm just very, very excited. There's a bug. It's been bothering me. That's all. Thank you.
So we have a certificate of appreciation for Amanda, and it reads, in recognition of National Board Certified Teacher and joining an elite group of educators who meet the highest standards of the teaching profession. Congratulations.
Thank you.
I just want to take a moment to congratulate you as well. I've known several teachers who have attempted this. Not all have made it through. It is incredibly extensive and an immense amount of work. So thank you very much for all your efforts, and thank you, Lyman and Cynthia, for promoting this. Thank you.
Our next honoree is a runner, and I don't know if any of you are runners. I'm a recovering runner. When I retired, it was no great loss to the sport, but just running a race is an achievement, but to run as well as Bailey Cronin has the last 3 years is pretty amazing. I don't know what it's like to win a race. I don't know what it's like to be qualify for a tournament, and she's won a lot. And she's qualified for the state WIAA cross country meet for the 3rd consecutive year this year. As impressive as the letter, the athletic letter on her jacket, as you'll see in a moment, is the other letter for academics. She's a fierce competitor, both in the classroom and on the cross country course. Bob Schaefer, her coach, was not able to be here tonight, but he sends his congratulations, and Bailey earned first team All Big 8 conference honors this year, and she finished the course in Wisconsin Rapids for the state meet in a time of 19 minutes, 45 seconds, and .26. So come on up, Bailey. Congratulations.
Thank you.
I told Bailey I'd have her back.
Got her back?
Yeah.
You want to say anything?
Do I say anything?
I'll say something.
Okay.
I've known Bailey for quite a while now, and like you said, fierce competitor. Most people know she's also a 3-sport athlete. She was on our state hockey team last year, and not afraid to take a hit. And I also have had her in class. She was a heck of a lifeguard student, and worked up at Noah's Ark this past summer, and did a nice job. And 4.0, what more can you say? That's pretty awesome. All right.
Hi, Mom. Thank you. She goes to a lot of my meets, so it's nice to have her support. She's probably missed a few school board meetings. I'm sorry. It's paid off. Thank you.
And we have a certificate of appreciation for Bailey. It says, in recognition of 3 consecutive trips to the WIAA State Cross Country Meet, she's the first female at Beloit Memorial High School to accomplish this feat. So congratulations.
Bailey, I just want to say I have known you for a long time through running, and for those of you who don't know Bailey or don't know what the amount of competition in our conference is one of the premier, and I don't think I'm understating that, running conferences in our state. To be all conference in cross country is an immense accomplishment. You are an amazing athlete, and you have such determination. I know that your mom is very, very proud of you, and although won't maybe not say too much right now, you know, you are really something that students should aspire to be. So thank you very much, Bailey.
I just have to tell a real quick funny story. Part of the reason Bailey did it 3 years is because she didn't go out for cross country her freshman year. So she didn't miss a year, she just didn't run that year. She was on the volleyball team, and quite frankly, I got tired of listening to her complain. So I said to her, I'm not sure why you're not making, hockey your team sport, but you're an individual competitor, why don't you try running? So hence the runner in our house was born, I guess, sophomore year. So I just wanted to point that out, that she is fiercely competitive. I think that's why she started that sport. We have a lot of competition just in who will get to the dinner table first, who will empty their part of the dishwasher first. My entire life is competition with these kids at the house. But anyway, proud of you, Bailey, and keep it up.
And the third person we're going to recognize tonight surprised some people at Middleton during the WIAA Division I swim meet. She was seated in the high teens and finished 8th at state in the 100-meter backstroke, and in the process broke a Beloit Memorial school record. Her coach, Kim Wade, is here to tell you a little bit more about Heaven Wells. Come on up.
Well, Heaven not only holds the school record now in the 100-yard backstroke with a time of 57:57, previously held by Alyssa Bartz from 1999, and she held it with a 101. So Heaven not only just broke it by a little bit, she broke it by a lot. She also broke the 100-yard freestyle record, which had been around since 1989 this season at the conference swim meet. So she finished 6th place in the 100 free, 3rd place in the 100-yard backstroke at our conference meet, and then was seated 17th going into the state meet. Out of the first heat, finishes 8th place. So she did shock a lot of people. Heaven, you had a great season. Congratulations.
Just to reiterate what Mrs. Kolbakar said, it's not just cross country. 35% of the kids that swam in the state meet this year came out of the Big 8 conference, and over 40% came out of our sectional. So it's, it's a fast. You have to be very fast in our conference to be competitive, and our girls team has gotten to that point. It's not just Heaven, her sister Elf over there. Claire just pushed her up and down that pool all year long. So it really is a team effort. But Heaven really has come a long way, and that 57-57 also qualified her for junior nationals in March in Orlando, United States Swimming Junior Nationals. So she's doing a really good job, and we're hoping to get a few more cuts between now and then in March before we go down. So she's swimming more than just one race, but a heck of a year.
Thank you. I'd like to thank my coaches and my teammates, but I'd also like to thank Claire, my training partner. I don't know where I'd be without her, actually, so I'd like to say thank you to her.
And we have a recognition certificate that reads, this certificate is awarded to Heaven Wells in recognition of an outstanding swim season at Beloit Memorial High School, including a strong finish at WIAA State, where Heaven broke the Beloit Memorial 100-yard backstroke record. So.
And I want to make sure people realize, Heaven, you're a junior, correct? Yeah. So she has 1 year left to wow us even more. Heaven's also a part of the 4x8 relay team that Bailey's a part of too, so we have big expectations in the spring too. But great job, Heaven.
So if I may add something else, Heaven, as a newer high school swim parent, I know what it takes to do the stuff that you're doing, how much you train, and how hard you work. So really well done. Good job. Thank you. At this time in the meeting, are there citizens or delegations who are not on the agenda who would like to comment at this time? Again, this is the time of the meeting where citizens or delegations who are not on the agenda have the opportunity to speak. Seeing none, we'll move to the superintendent's reports to the board.
Good evening. At this time, Dr. Williams will present the equity update for the month. I would also like to just preface his remarks by saying the school district of Beloit was honored through a nomination from NAACP President Dorothy Harrell for the Dorothy Height Diversity in the Workplace Award, which we recently accepted at the YWCA's Racial Justice Conference. And we're very appreciative of the nomination and humbled by the award. It was a very exciting event. I think it was during the same time there was another exciting event, which I'm sure you'll hear about in a moment, and that was our veterans. program here in Beloit. So very honored again. So Dr. Williams.
Good evening. Again, want to thank Dr. Harrell for that nomination, and thank everyone for being here this evening. Just want to share with you a couple of things that are going on, and I'll talk about the Veterans Day program shortly. But on a couple of weeks ago, we had the opportunity to participate in the Close the Achievement Gap Conference down at Whitewater. And in addition to that, we're always talking about growing your own and trying to get more teachers inside the field. So there was another conference that was held at Whitewater called the Educators Rising Conference, where they start to look at high school students throughout the state of Wisconsin who are interested in going into teaching. So that's a great opportunity, and we're going to be building upon that and in the future, and making sure that our students get involved with that, because we have several students who are at the high school who are interested in going into teaching. So that's a great resource that's here, and there's also some additional funding that goes along with it if the students choose to pursue that field. We had the opportunity to participate in the Latino Service Providers Luncheon. We took a group of students there from our LULAC and MEO programs at the high school. Had a great time, and congratulations to the Latino Service Providers on that luncheon. One of the things that we're looking at is taking the students to Washington, D.C. to tour the African American Museum. I will tell you, that seems like that may be a small feat, but the museum, everybody from all over the world, they're trying to get in there to see that. So we're going to try to get in there in February. Otherwise, it's maybe a year on down the road. So it's a very tedious process, but we want to make sure that our kids experience that. The state of the schools for parents. At each school, one of the things that came out of the ad hoc committee is the communication between parents and the school. So between now and Christmas, each school, we've asked them to hold what we call the state of the schools, to talk about the issues that are going on inside of the schools, talk to them about academic data, to just give them a total picture of what is going on inside of the school and get a rally of support. So for the parents who are out there watching, and the voices and the people who are hearing my voice at this time, make sure that you reach out to your school and participate in those meetings that the schools are having, because we don't want anyone to walk out of here and say, I didn't know, nobody told me. The schools will be reaching out to you, so please participate. In the paper, you saw some of our young men who call themselves, we call them the men of power, the student leadership. And those students are doing a great job over at the high school, trying to take some ownership in what goes on inside of the school. And so stay tuned, because those students will continue to move forward with some of the initiatives, and we're working right along with them through our MEO and some other activities. We had Unity Day with the MEO LULAC students and the Spanish Club. We're doing a lot of great activities, not only within the school, but within the community, and a lot of other things planned. Our motto is transforming schools through student empowerment. So we want our students to be involved all over. They participate in the Echo Food Drive that you saw inside of the Beloit Daily News. And as recently as yesterday, through a relationship with Devin Harris, who plays for the Dallas Mavericks and Omega Psi Phi fraternity, we gave out 12 turkeys to some of our needy families here at various schools here in Beloit. Professional development is at the crux of what we're doing to try to transform our teachers, especially around the area of culturally relevant teaching practices. My hat goes off to Dr. Buns and his team for the professional development that we had on November the 11th. The feedback that we received from the teachers was powerful. It was profound. It's focused on, the whole day focused on diversity, equity, building relationships, and giving teachers concrete strategies that they can use to work with the students inside of the schools. And so that worked out very well. And so we'll continue on with that for the upcoming years. The African American Latino Mentoring Program, I can tell you, it is off and running, and the students are having a ball. One of our, Director Johnson, she's one of our tutors. Would you have anything you'd like to say?
Yes, mentoring is going really well right now. There are more people involved this year, so it is more than just a handful of kids. There are actually like, I don't want to say up to 30 kids around the district volunteering at these places, getting in hours. And this year, I'm actually working with a younger group of kids. Last year, I had middle schoolers, so they were a little bit more mature. But now I'm working with little children. I have like a 4th grader and a 5th grader, I believe, Sydney and Graham. But it's interesting how their mind works compared to mine, but it works.
Well, let me tell you one other thing. We have some students who are working over at Aldrich. The students are at all the schools, and I'm going to tell you, it's a wonderful thing where students, they can, take that interest and take that initiative and without having to be reminded. Real good work ethic and going in and doing a great job working with our students. And we had a meeting at Domenico's, and one student said to me, he said, Dr. Williams, can I talk to you for 1 second? He said, I never thought about doing this teaching thing, but now since I've been tutoring, I really think I can become a teacher. That's what this is about. So we're going to give that kid an opportunity through a relationship that we have with Black Hawk Tech and some things that you'll hear about probably at the next meeting that'll really provide a pathway to the future for some of our students. Our PTO, one of the concerns that came up was, do our schools have PTOs, PTSOs, some type of avenue where parents can feel more involved? All the students have some form of that. What I want to say is we need more participation. So we know that the calls are going out. We know that some schools are sending out flyers, but we just want to encourage all parents to stay connected with the school and participate in those meetings that they're having inside of the school. You may not be able to make it this week or this month, but try to stay involved and attend some of those meetings. Very good information is coming out, and it's very important that everybody stay connected. The monthly parent academies, they're going very well. We encourage more participation. Again, we don't want anyone to walk out of here and say, I did not know. We're sharing good information. Tasha Bell is heading up our that parent academy. Also with our parent walks, we had several parents to participate this month, and so we want to continue more parents to show up, and the comments have been great. The Veterans Day celebration, let me just tell you, it was absolutely outstanding. We had the whole school. I assume it was somewhere between around 1,500, 1,700 people there. Major Joy Anderson was the guest speaker. She really enjoyed being here, and the students did an excellent job. I thought the program went very well. I want to encourage everyone to participate. I want to thank everyone who participated, and we look forward to having a great event next year. The last couple of things I want to mention to you is the Dr. Martin Luther King program that we will have at the Eclipse Center on January the 16th. It is going to be outstanding. You do not want to miss it. We had our Dr. Martin Luther King speech and essay contest, and we have over 200 entries at this particular point that were submitted from all of the schools. I want to thank the students, the parents. I want to thank the schools who really rallied behind this initiative, and so we're going to be looking at those and selecting our winners on next week. But I want you to realize how important this is, because last year we had 0 participation. We had some participants at the last second to participate over at Black Hawk, so this is really huge. So this is going to be one dynamic program. Do not miss it. The other thing, our Beloit Teacher Parent Recognition Banquet, May 5th, 2017. May 5th, 2017. That's the same day as Cinco de Mayo. So when you think about Cinco de Mayo, I want you to think about this banquet. I'm going to tell you, if you miss this banquet, you will regret it. It is an excellent banquet where we're going to be recognizing our teachers, our students, and our parents. It's going to be one awesome night. And I want to thank all those businesses who've contributed to this night thus far. Our teacher recruitment is going to be ongoing, and as you know, this is about the time with fall graduation and then in the spring coming up, where we need to really get out and recruit and see who's out there and prepare for those teachers who may be retiring after long years of service. Thank you for your time. Pending any questions.
Dr. Williams, could you clarify, please, the Martin Luther King program is the 16th or the 17th? I think you said the 16th.
It's going to be on the form. It says January 17th. That means January 2017, but it's going to be January the 16th, 2017.
Okay, thank you.
Say again, ma'am. 8 to 10. And we do have tickets that are available, and you can contact us here inside the district, but we will be coming out, bringing those tickets a.m. It will be the Dr. Martin Luther King breakfast from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. at the Eclipse Center.
Yeah, I have a couple questions. One, Dr. Williams, I apologize. I won't be able to attend your MLK. I will be coming back from Ghana, Africa, so best of luck there. Dr. Johnson, we have done some great work on the equity plan. And I think one of the reasons why we've been successful is we developed a plan and we have unveiled the plan and we've worked on the plan, looking at practices, data, and district action. This isn't for you, Dr. Williams. I think it's now time under superintendent reports on a continuous basis that we have an academic achievement plan update, very much like you've committed to giving us monthly updates on equity. I think it's now time for Mr. Bonds to unveil his plan, put it on the table, put some benchmarks, some action plans, so that we can monitor it side by side with the equity plan. Very well, thank you.
Dr. Williams, let me just say, so last year I attended the veterans program at the high school, and also this year, and this year was like last year on steroids. The event that you planned, and I know that you're kind of the driver of this, was amazing. Thank you for all your work. And I have a question. So here, before I have the question, thank you also for inviting General Anderson. You know, I did not realize until you started working on that we had the first African-American general of that rank who was from Beloit. So I think that's something to be proud of. Are non-veteran board members invited to this event? Because that's not been clear.
Yes, ma'am. We invite everybody to participate in the program. You don't have to be a veteran in order to attend.
Okay, great.
Yes,
so
ma'am.
I really encourage board members next year to go if you can get the time off work, because it's well worth the time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And I will tell you that a Major Eldridge and Sergeant First Class Barrios at the high school, who's over that ROTC program, they're really the ones who are spearheading this piece along with those students. It was outstanding. So we look forward to making it more robust and better each year. So thank you all.
Now it's time for the student board member report.
Hi. Well, what's going on Beloit Memorial? Last week, National Honor Society's new members were inducted. Winter sports are starting up. There's a hockey game tonight. Also, a girls' basketball game away in Verona. Thanksgiving break is officially in session, so everybody just chill and have a good time over their Thanksgiving break. No school tomorrow for regular students, but Porter Scholars will have class tomorrow at Beloit College. So anyone who has been in touch with their professor should let you know that their break does not start until Thursday, I believe. Yes. Yes. Porter Scholars will be attending class tomorrow. Oh, okay. Yes. Oh, okay. State line scholarships will begin December 1st, so any student that is interested in that, get in touch with your counselor and they will let you know about more information. The engineering career panel was yesterday. A main factor in that was Frito-Lay, and it went really well, actually. A lot of students actually participated in it. It wasn't expected to have a really big outcome, but we had fun. So that's it. Thank you.
Thank you. And since it wouldn't be a board meeting unless I skip an item, so let's go back to the Equality Committee report. Thank you for your patience, Tasha.
Good evening. I am here to give you an update on our November 14th Equality Committee meeting. We were able to have our MEO representatives present to our committee. So for those of you that do not know, we have a MEO rep in all of our buildings. So we asked them to come with information about what they are doing in their roles. And we got a lot of information, so I'm not going to read over all of that. But one of the things that is a common theme for the MEO reps in the building is we have a lot of community service going on within our buildings. They're planning a lot of events, and I think they appreciate it, being able to share with the committee all the great things that they're doing in their buildings, including, not just celebrations, but ways to engage the greater community as well as our parents. We also had an equity plan update as well from Dr. Williams. We once again mentioned our teacher recognition gala, and one of the best things that I find about Equality Committee is that because we have such a wide range of people on our committee, the announcements take quite a bit of time, which is great because for a lot of us, that's how we find out what's going on within our community. So we're all, tell me the date again, what is this happening? So we definitely do appreciate that space for us as school district staff, but also for community members to let us know what's going on, but to kind of share that space together. And that is the update from the Equality Committee.
Are there questions for Tasha? Okay, thank you. Committee reports, please. Finance.
Sorry about that, because it was a short meeting. We did not, yes, we did have a couple of purchase orders between 15 and 25,000. We went over the 60 fund student activity groups. I think that's coming before the board this evening. We had 3 waiver of rental fees, and that was about it. Thank you.
Thank you, Shelley. Curriculum and instruction, please.
We met on Tuesday, November 8th at 4:30. Our first item on our agenda was state data reports. Dr. Bonds introduced the report, presented and summarized the data. We had a fairly lively discussion about the data and our need for increased emphasis on student achievement. The next item on our agenda was in fact the achievement gap efforts, including our literacy plan, math plan, and bilingual plan. We had an immense amount of information to read, and due to our decision to have more discussion, we decided to table the information due to the large amount of info. We tabled our Students on the Move ad hoc committee update, and then had a new world history course proposal change. So the way it was proposed and we approved was the split of world history, which is currently offered as a one-term class, that it would be divided into 4 half-term classes, and students would choose 2 of the 4 options. These classes would be targeted for sophomores. They would be required. There are no prerequisites required. The 4 classes would be Great Civilizations, World Cultures, World Conflicts, and Human Footprints. They also provided information making sure that this new class proposal would meet all of the curriculum standards that we have. We also had a name change for the African American Studies class. I believe right now it's listed as African American Studies 1 and 2, and because of that it makes it sound like one is a prerequisite for the other. That was changed so that the courses look like they're more independent of each other. And that was all. Thank you.
Thanks, Chris. Policy and Personnel, please.
The Policy and Personnel Committee met on October 25th prior to our business meeting to approve personnel recommendations, as we always do before the business meeting, and those will be coming to us, more will be coming to us later on tonight. The Policy and Personnel Committee also met on November 8th, and one of the discussions we had was on the superintendent evaluation tool. This has been something we've worked on and off for a few months, and part of the drive behind updating this tool was based on an older policy that we were following a timeline. So policies on the use of that evaluation tool will be coming forward tonight as well for first reading. Then we had quite a lengthy discussion on increasing the salary for substitute teachers. As we've mentioned before in our televised meeting, there's quite a bit of competition now for not only educators but substitute teachers to go to a variety of other districts, and our substitute teachers have not had a salary increase for quite some time. But in that discussion, we also wanted to give the message to our substitute teachers that we'd like to have some professional development. And so the administration is looking at what that professional development might entail, and we're going to discuss it just a little bit more the first meeting in December, and we'll have more to report next month. Also, Mrs. Charles had an update for the for a legislative update, and a small group, including Mrs. Charles, is working on a recess bill with our local legislators that they'd like to bring forth, and as we learn more about that, we'll report about that. I think that's about all we talked about, but I will note later on in the agenda tonight, our committee also passed forward the recommendation for hiring para-educators for our special ed students. And it's something that is mandated by our state to provide special help for our students, and so we will be bringing that forward tonight as well. And I'll report more on that policy meeting next month. Are there any questions?
Thank you, Nora. At this time, we're going to do the consent list. Please note that all items listed with an asterisk will be enacted by one motion. There will be no separate discussion of the items unless a board member or citizen so requests, in which event the items will be removed from the general order of business and considered in their normal sequence on the agenda.
I'd like to move approval of the consent list with a substitution for the corrected version of the November 8th special board meeting for what was in our packet.
I'll second the motion.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Okay, so now we're at item 9B, 60 Fund Student Activity Groups.
Move approval.
Second. Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item 9C, World History New Course Proposal.
I'll move approval. This was what Ms. Klobuchar was discussing.
Yep.
the substitution of one world history class into 4 smaller ones, and each student picks 2 to fulfill that requirement. And it was approved in our committee.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item 9D, course name change proposals.
Move approval.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item 9E, superintendent evaluation tool.
Move approval.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item 9F, policy 225, superintendent's evaluation, and 225, rule 1, superintendent evaluation process, first reading.
Move approval.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item 9G, approval of additional paraeducator FTEs.
Move approval.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item 9H, personnel recommendations, Exhibit A.
Move approval.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. At this time, I'd like items of interest for consideration at future board meetings. Dennis?
Yes. Dr. Johnson, if you and Jamie can get together and take a look at DPI Superintendent Evers' budget recommendation, and could you, by email or something, kind of brief us on the impact it could have here in Beloit? That would be helpful. Thank you.
I'd like to ask for a clarification if there's a policy, or if there isn't, that we maybe look at the meetings not being on Tuesdays. I don't know how long we've done that, or I guess I'd like to understand a little bit. Anyway, I'd like to take a look at that. That's a night that there's a lot of school activities. I mean, as you saw, there's band concerts, there's sporting events. Tuesdays and Thursdays seem to be very heavy on activities if we're trying to get to students' activities, so I would just like to explore that as well.
Thank you, Shelley.
Pam?
I'd like us to look at, and I don't know if the administration does any kind of employee exit interviews, but I would like to have the board see employee exit interviews so we can get an idea of what's going on, and when we have so many people leaving, try and find out.
Like a
perhaps why.
report or individual, because we probably don't want, or
I'd actually like to see individual. We don't have that many on our, we don't have that many on our monthly, personnel recommendations. I think it would be enlightening for us to be able to see why this is happening, and hopefully we could provide a better environment or more support for employees to keep them here. Thank you.
Are there other suggestions for future board meetings? Okay. The meetings in December, the committee meetings will be on December 13th. And the next business meeting will be on December 20th. At this time, if there are no other questions or comments, we are adjourned.